Hey, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the My Game Guys Board Gaming Podcast. I'm your host, Adrian.
I am Zach.
And I am still alive, Jeff.
And we have Wes joining us again on the show. Thanks for coming back, Wes.
Yeah, my pleasure. Hi, everybody.
Yeah.
Hello.
Hello.
People have commented that you were a positive guest, so we decided to let you return.
I think you mean the best guest.
No,
I don't know
they
about
haven't.
that.
No, they didn't
No.
say that.
I'm not sure if anyone's
I'm
actually...
pretty sure I've said that.
Yeah, that's
Wow.
you should stop lying to yourself like that.
Speaking of bias.
That's next episode.
Yeah. But yes, we are back and returned. Jeff and I did not die. I mean, I was like just really upset stomach, maybe some minor food poisoning. I don't know. Jeff was full on strep throat.
I had a 101-degree fever that hit in the middle of the night, Sunday night into Monday. I did not sleep well. I got out of bed twice to go to the bathroom and get more water all day Monday. And then I went to work on Tuesday.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is that when I was sick, I still did the episode.
Yeah,
So.
you also you didn't have strep. That's super
I
contagious.
had tonsillitis.
Yeah, that's not nearly as contagious, if contagious at all. I don't know if tonsillitis is contagious.
I mean,
It has itis in it.
yeah, it has itis in it, so
better safe than sorry.
yeah.
I
I think as long as it didn't like spit into your mouth or something, you probably.
which, as we've established,
And that's our greeting.
I mean,
yeah. Jeff, if you had died, I was prepared to use the picture you posted from Sunday night here at the house, where you were like half asleep on the floor. That was going to be the lead photo of your obituary.
Yeah.
Like the last known image of Jeff before he died.
Yeah. Yeah, it must have been hitting me like Sunday night because I was real tired. I also worked that day, but as I did every day because it was Great American Beer Festival this last
Yes,
weekend.
it was.
Yes, it was.
Wes was there
I was. I
for
drank
one of the
lots
sessions.
beers.
I worked both Saturday sessions. I drank half of it and then worked the other half, except the second session where I just drank the whole thing because they didn't need me.
Nice.
I kept going back. I kept like, "Do you guys need help? Does anyone tag out? Does anyone want to go drink beer? Am I good? Am I good?" And the sales guy was like, "Just no, we're fine." And I was like, "All right, back to drinking.
I guess if I have to.
I guess I have to get that Avery Rumpkin straight out of the barrel again."
Yeah.
I got both tappings of that. That was great.
It was delicious.
Yeah, boozy, like
you-
18%.
Oh, were you with us when we went to Utopias?
Yeah, I was gonna say if you had Utopias, yeah,
I don't think so.
that's like 29% or something like that.
Holy shit!
Yeah. No,
From
it's,
Sam Adams.
it's like $200 a bottle or something.
Wow, I missed out on that.
Yeah. It's basically the only reason to go at GABF. That's not true. There's lots of other things to do.
I've already quoted you, Wes,
Yeah.
so you can't get out of it now.
It was all one sentence. I didn't even stop. You can't just put an ellipses in there.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, but my Wednesday and Thursday was filled with work at Epic, getting ready for the 50 Firkin Festival for Thursday.
Which was great.
which
Yeah.
was also lots of fun.
Which we worked.
Way too hungover Friday and just like not going to work.
Yeah. I had to go to work.
Yeah, I was
That was
trashed.
I was fine. But that's also because I drove you back
Yeah.
on Friday. So,
But by the end of work Thursday,
Or
I'd
on
already had
Thursday.
It
like,
was like 1 a.m. when I got home, and I had
Yeah.
to be at work at 8.
yeah, well, I just slept till like 9 or 10, and I was like, okay, let's work in a little while, I guess.
but by the end of work Thursday, not going in Monday, I had well over 40 hours already, and I still had to work all Saturday, half day Saturday, turned it into a full day Saturday. So
Like you worked for most of that. Come on.
I did not. I worked for some of it, especially when I got there at like 11:30 and there was no one else at the booth. There wasn't anyone else at the booth until 5 minutes after it had opened.
Oh, wow.
I was like, where is everyone? Why am I here by myself? There's supposed to be like 8 people here right now. Yeah.
Jake had talked about, like, he was curious what states would come away with some of the most winners in various categories.
I didn't look into that. Yeah.
Colorado.
Well, yeah.
Colorado and California. Like,
Shocking.
Always those two.
Who
yeah.
have really, he was hoping North Carolina would make the top 10 or top 5. Now, without actually going through and specifically counting, just browsing through, if they're not top 5, they're damn close. North Carolina had a lot of beers. Oregon, Texas, surprisingly Pennsylvania.
Yeah, lots of Colorado breweries that we are aware of.
Wasn't there one brewery that, like, because like they entered the same beer into 2 categories
And one in
Yeah.
2 separate categories.
because like one was like from their canning facility and one was from their brewery or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember what it was.
Shady. I mean, there's like 96 categories or something like that. So
Yeah. There's more categories every year. It gets pretty ridiculous.
indeed.
I made a shitload of money lifting for GABF.
Oh, I'm
I
sure
bet,
you did.
Yeah.
Especially one poor woman that just happened to be going to the airport around the same time.
You're like, this is going to be really expensive,
Yeah,
right?
and it was $91 to get to the airport.
Oh God.
I thought about trying to get a lift or texting you if you would lift me back afterwards, but then I was like, it's all right, I'll take the bus. And so I was on the bus, 15 minutes on the bus, and I watched a guy solve a Rubik's Cube 5 times.
Wow.
Okay.
Sure.
Definitely worth it.
Nice.
Was that
Yeah,
after
you-
GABF?
That was after. Well, I mean, he wasn't at GABF.
I know,
he was
but-
just some guy on the
But you must
You would
have
have not seen that if you were in my car.
You must have been amazed because you were like just fucking wasted. And
Yeah.
like, man, that dude's doing a Rubik's Cube right now.
Well, and it was the Colfax bus, and it was just like this scraggly guy with this big long beard. His hood was up, just like slouched back with his backpack on the chair. And he's just like fiddling around with a Rubik's Cube. And after like a minute, I was like, wait, did he solve that? And then he solved it 4 more times.
There you go.
That's bus stories with Wes.
Yep.
Oh, fantastic. Anyway,
Speaking of beer,
speaking of beer, let's talk about what we're drinking because we're all drinking actually different things than normal this year. This episode. It's been a long time.
one
since we
episode a
recorded.
year.
It's been a while, yeah.
Zach, what are you drinking? You've got the big bomber over there.
I'm drinking the Woot stock from Stone Brewing Company. Brewery.
Yeah.
It's
Stone
just,
Brewing.
Just Stone.
Yeah.
Stone Brewing.
No.
Everyone knows what Stone is.
Stone Brewing. It's the bottle says.
It's like Madonna. It's just Stone.
No.
So who are the 3 people involved in making Woot Stout?
Drew Curtis, Greg Coach, or
Coke.
Coke. Okay.
Coke.
Yeah, it's a H, not a K. All right. And then Will Wheaton. That's probably like what you were mainly interested in.
Yeah.
It's a beer that Will Wheaton had.
Well, and the first guy is the dude who did Fark.com, I'm pretty sure. Or something. It says on the
And the
back.
second guy, is he the...
The second guy is the founder of Stone.
Oh, okay. I was thinking, what's his name that does Boston beer? Sam Adams.
Jim Coke.
Coke. But,
That's what he thought,
he
too.
pronounces it Cook
Huh?
or something. I don't know.
Anyway,
sure it's
this
Jim
is
Coke.
good. This is Imperial Stout.
I had some of it.
It's good.
It is good.
Right on. Wes, what are you drinking?
I have a Ballast Point Red Velvet Cake Nitro. Mostly just because I wanted to like dump it into the glass and watch it go.
Likes those nitros.
Yes.
They're delicious.
They're the Pour Hard series from
Yeah.
Left Hand.
Yep.
Jeff, what are you drinking?
I have a Avery White Rascal.
That's tasty beer. I
It
like
is.
that one.
It's no Rumpkin, but
What is?
what is?
And I am drinking the Hooky Bob IPA from Crazy Mountain Brewing here in Denver, Colorado. It's a pretty tasty little IPA. I like a lot of stuff that Crazy Mountain does.
I had so many beers
So.
at GABF.
Yeah. I had so many beers Thursday working the Epic 50
Yes, I
Firkin
did.
Oh, that's
Fiasco.
right. Yeah.
Gosh, so many.
I think you guys may have even drank more than I did.
Probably.
I was just drinking on an empty stomach.
Yeah, that makes sense. That tart and juicy with grapefruit was fucking delicious.
It was.
Yup.
I did not get much of a chance to drink many of them, which was unfortunate. Because I
There's-
kept going up to the tap room and getting Baptista.
So the for the Firkin, one of the first station I manned, it was the chili beers, and unfortunately, like they had a ghost pepper one, but it wasn't really hot. And then they had a poblano one, which was like very peppery tasting, but not like it was peppery tasting, and then that was about it. And so like halfway through my thing, I just started mixing those two together to give to people, and they're like, "Oh, this is great," and I was like. Because they're always like, what's your favorite out of this? And I'm like, well, I like it when I just do 50 of that because you still get a little bit of the heat from the ghost pepper, but then you get the pepper taste from the poblano, and then sriracha. That was its own thing.
Yeah,
'cause-
no, it's terrible.
Yeah.
It reminded me of the Rogue Sriracha. That's
Yeah.
just the worst.
Sriracha. I'm not that much of a sriracha fan, but it doesn't work. For me, at least, it didn't work well in a beer form. But like an hour later, when I was working a different station, I had seen a girl that I had mixed it for come up, and I was like, "Oh, hey, like, what was your favorite beer or whatever?" She's like, "Yeah, this guy mixed these chili beers at the thing," and I was like, "That was me." And she's
Yeah.
like, "Oh shit, you're right."
I really did like the Imperial Pumpkin Porter
Yes.
a la mode, which
Yes.
with a scoop of ice cream in
Yes,
it at
when
the
they
end
did
of the
that,
night.
that was great.
That was really good.
I kept getting the Tart and Juicy Grapefruit a la mode. It was amazing.
Oh, there was the strawberry basil one. That was really good. I liked.
That
It
one
was way too basily.
yeah.
I liked it.
Somebody left the wrong placard over by the first beer that we were pouring, which it was the Escape to the Northeast is what they'd called it. And the placard that somebody had left over there behind it, like where we were pouring from, said sweet potatoes and
That was on my side.
apricots. it said sweet potatoes and apricots. And so for most of the night, we were telling people that it had sweet potatoes and apricots. And somebody was even like, oh, well, that makes sense. Like sweet potatoes come from the Northeast. And
I remember
or peaches. It was sweet potatoes and peaches, maybe.
Yeah, I think that's what it was. Yeah, peaches.
But, and people would be like, oh yeah, like I could totally taste the peaches in this. Like I can get whatever. And then like later on, Aunt heard us tell somebody that, and he leans over and he goes, "That's not what that is at all."
And as you tell this story, I didn't know that happened, but I know what's in there, and I'm like, no, that's very wrong.
It's very wrong.
No, it turns out it's clams.
Oh God.
But it wasn't like super overly salty or anything, like a heavy Baltic porter or anything. It was actually kind of mild and not bad.
Yeah, you couldn't hardly tell. It was. I liked it a lot. I liked
one
all
with
of the escapes.
hummus in
over
it
there.
was not good.
It was weird.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I never got to try that one. That was definitely one of the weird ones.
People
Yeah.
really like the was it the 825 stout with Cocoa Puffs.
Yeah,
yes,
that
and
was a
especially
popular
when you
one.
mixed it with the what's it called, the brown that had all the coffee in it.
Oh, that
Yeah.
does sound good. People also like the bacon and apple and the one that was good.
I didn't have that one.
Yeah, I don't think I had that.
That was
one.
right next to the Cocoa Puffs.
Oh, that's probably
So-
what. No,
we
then I
should-
must have had it because I
we
went
should
over
note
there.
the 50 Firkin. It's not little taster glasses. They gave like full 10-ounce glasses to everyone.
And
to
had
take
multiple
pours.
people just be like, "Can you just fill that up for me?"
Especially towards the end of the night when
Yeah.
people had figured
Oh, yeah.
out what they liked, and they just come by and be like, "Yeah, just if you could give me a big boy pour of that, like, I got you."
Yeah, at the beginning, I asked Ant, so it's like, how much are we pouring? Are we doing like 2-ounce pours? What are we doing? He's like, oh, just up to wherever. And I was like, all right. So it's like right at the curve of the bell, like that, where it's like basically like a
Halfway up.
6-ounce pour. People are like, oh, all right.
Well, for me, it was like if someone was like, "Can I have a taste of it?" Then I'd be like, "This much" or something
Yeah.
like that, and then they were like, "I would like this." Then it's like, "Oh, about here," and then if you want a big pour, then it's anywhere from here up to here.
Yeah.
That's what I was doing
all
when
of
I
that
was serving
visual
the chili
work you
beer.
just did, Zach, came through wonderfully on the podcast.
Oh, I know.
Time.
Yeah, it always does.
I mean, I saw it.
Yeah. And Wesley's like half our audience, so
I mean, yeah.
yeah.
Well, I guess that's all that
You
matters.
can
then.
ask any of your audience. Half of them will say that they're me.
Yeah.
Hear that, listeners? You got to
that
remember
math
to
check.
be me.
That math checks out.
Yeah.
but only half of you.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to randomly like flip a coin whether or not you're going to say you're Wes when we ask you if you're Wes.
Yep. That's how that works.
I mean, they
God.
can roll a d6 and be like on an odd number where Wes. It doesn't have to be a coin. I'm just saying there's.
Do we
four
even
and up.
still have listeners at this point? I mean, we've been rambling for like 15 minutes almost and have not mentioned board games once.
I mean, I'm listening.
Well, I'm going to keep that train rolling because I haven't played much board games lately. But I have been playing my Switch finally.
Ooh.
Nice.
I have Zelda and that like Mario vs. Rabbids game, which are both phenomenal.
Yep.
But I've been playing Golf Story. It's like a little $15 indie game only on the Switch. It reminds me a lot of Mario Golf on the Game Boy
64?
Advance, which I played a fuckload of. I've gotten to like 4 worlds in this one. It's just kind of like a basic like golf RPG. It's not a golf simulator at all. It's real goofy. Like there's no real golf in this. Like as you try and hit on fairways and stuff, there's like moles that'll like steal your ball and go and throw it in the sand pit, or birds will pick them up and throw it into the rough. That's my kind of golf game. I'm not playing simulator golf, but Golf Story, real good.
I'm gonna have to
Nice.
look into it.
And then that Shadow of War comes out like tomorrow.
Yes.
Supposed to be really good.
But the last actual board game I played was at Black Sky when Adrian was gone.
Yep.
This was a mere 3 days after the Sunday fun day of playing Hanabi one-on-one with Ant. I did really great at. Go back and listen to the episode. I guarantee that's exactly what happened. But on Wednesday, we were playing 4-player without the rainbow color.
Yeah.
So it was much easier. And I had a lot of fun.
Nice.
I think you played a hand or two as well, didn't you, Zach?
Yeah, I was in that game too, but then after those 2 games, because we were playing with 2 people that hadn't played before, and so all the hints were very tended to be a little bit more basic, and it was like we were trying to get them to think through the things that we were saying, but because I remember Jeff gave 1 or 2 good clues on there that it was like you could see them like, okay, well he said this, so that means I have and you can see them working through, which was great. And then after that, I played a couple hands with Ant one-on-one for the first time.
After how many margaritas?
Well, I don't 3 to 4.
Okay.
And then a beer. I realized any amount of drunk is too drunk to play with Ant.
Unless you're Ant, and then
Yes.
it's like no problem.
No, because I like after like into the first game, I was just like halfway through, I was just thinking, I was like, okay, I sort of remember this, and I'm like, oh god, this is too much.
I've played many games one-on-one of Drunk Hanabi with Ant up at the ski condo. It's one of the things I'm going to miss this year. Like I'll still get to do it this year because like even though I'm not in on the condo this year, like I know pretty much everybody who is in on the condo, so I'm just going to be able to be like, hey, who's going up? Here's $30. So I still hope to play a lot of one-on-one Hanabi with Ant. Like Drunk Hanabi with Ant after a hard day of skiing is like one of my favorite things. Like me and him got regularly to where the only thing that would lose us games was like bad decks. Like, we'd early discard like a 3 of red, and then the other 3 of red would be like the last card in the deck. And it's like, oh, well, there's really no protecting you in that situation. Like, you're just fucked. But it's a lot of fun. I really enjoy playing with Ant. It makes it hard to play with other people, though, because like I'm so used to Ant giving very precise clues that have like very precise meanings and like knowing like kind of what his thought process is that I'll play with somebody else and they'll be like, oh yeah, this one's a blue. And I'll go to very confidently play it because like if Ant gave me that clue, that means that's the next one to play.
Yeah.
And then it's just not even, it's like a 5. It's like, well, why didn't you tell me that was a 5?
Yeah.
I'm very confused. I like Hanabi a whole lot. It's a great game.
Yeah.
Anything else you've played, Zach, that
Yes. So when we were at D-Bolt on Wednesday,
I wasn't.
no, because you were working like a rube.
Till 11 p.m. that night.
I played Burgle Bros. I bought that a couple of weeks ago. So this is a game by Tim Fowers.
did you pick that up at Gen Con?
Yes, I did.
Okay, so like a couple months ago.
Not okay.
Like August 17th to 2020.
Yeah, so,
All right, so like
less than
6 weeks ago.
Yes, a few. Yeah,
A month and a half.
yes, exactly. But not a couple months. So
Jesus. Pedantic much?
yeah, yes.
It's his middle name.
Zach Pedantic?
McAnally. Yep.
Yeah.
McAnally.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's it.
No.
No, I think you're wrong.
Okay. All right. Well, if all 3 of you say it. So this is
How was Burgle Bros?
It was really good. I liked it. So it's a cooperative game. We were basically trying to steal. You're trying to break, crack these saves and steal like loot from these buildings, and you're trying to get out. The normal game is 3 levels, and we just did the office job, which is the intro one, and it's only 2 levels. Also because it's only 45 minutes, and the other one can be 90 minutes, and so it could have gone up to 2 hours. And I was like, that might be too much for the first time playing for everybody. But I really like how the game works because it's sort of like Pandemic, where on your turn you have 4 actions to do, and then the bad stuff happens. In this case, it's a guard that's walking around, like just patrolling. And then if he sees you, you lose one of your stealth tokens. And then if you have to lose a stealth token and you can't, everybody loses.
Okay.
But you're starting a 4x4 building, or a floor of the building, and the tile that you on, you get to see it, but everything else you can either, as an action, you can flip it over to actually see what it is, or if you really need to, you can just jump in. But then like almost half the cards are alarms that they're like, oh, you have to stop moving here if it's motion, or otherwise you're going to trigger an alarm. Or it's fingerprints, so you have to spend a certain amount of actions to do it, or something like that. Or it's like a deadbolt, so you have to spend 3 actions to get in if you're the only one that's going in.
Okay.
And so it's all about positioning, but the guard moves on this sort of set path at the end of everybody's turn. So if you're playing with 4 players, if you're safe at the end of your turn, the guard's going to get 4 movements before you get to do it again. So there gets this thing because every time he reaches, like, say he's going to B3, he goes to B3, and then you flip another card over, and now it's like, oh, now he's going to D2. Shit, that's where I am. And so you can like trigger alarms to try and make him go other ways. And it's all about trying to manage the guard. And then once you crack the safe, which is based around the 6 numbers that are on your basically your own column, you have to roll dice in order to get them, but there are ways to add dice to make it easier. And but once you crack that, the guard, he realizes that you broke into the safe, so now he starts moving faster, and it's just about not getting caught and it starts ramping up and getting harder and harder.
Okay.
And it's everybody has their own unique powers too, which is pretty cool. And I really liked it, and I definitely want to play the full game.
Right on.
Yeah.
I beat be interested in trying it out too. It sounds pretty interesting.
And I don't know if it's Kickstarter exclusive or anything like that, but there came with a mini expansion called Lost Visual. It's one card that's added into each of the guard's decks. That's basically the guard. It gets removed from the box or removed from the floor, and then on the end of your turn or the end of the next turn, he comes out with a new destination and then a new location where he starts. So I really like the idea of it's just like, we're tracing him going certain spots, and then all of a sudden he's just like, oh crap, we saw him. We have no idea where he's going to be, and then he just pops up right behind you, and I was like, oh fuck.
Okay. Right on.
And all the rooms have like little different things that'll make it pretty cool. So yeah, I like it. One of the cards is a walkway that if you enter it via the move action, but it got revealed via the move action, you basically fall from the walkway to the to the lower floor. And that happened to Paul, and he was the acrobat, and it was hilarious.
Nice. Like the acrobat just cartwheeled off the walkway down to the floor below.
He got too cocky, Paul, and he just fell off. So it has this thing of like trying to be careful, but then points where you're just like, I have to do that, otherwise I'm trapped and stuff like that. So it had some interesting decisions. I liked it.
Cool.
Yeah.
Wes, what about you? What have you played?
I was playing. What did I play? It was called Paperback, right?
Yes. Also by Tim Powers.
It's a word building game, deck builder. Kind of like, it reminds me a lot of Quiddler, if you ever played Quiddler, where you get a hand of cards with letters and you have to make words. But it's a deck builder, and so as you make words, you get to also buy new letters into your deck. I thought it was a lot of fun. The interesting mechanic was all the question marks, like the wild cards, and so there's bonuses for making long words. And so you get a hand of like a T and an S, and then 4 wilds, and be like, okay, I can make a 6-letter word with that because it's just whatever letters I want, but they don't give you points because they're blanks.
Yeah, I think that was one thing that was really important in that game, was giving you enough wilds, because if it was just based on the letters you had, that can be harder for a lot of people.
Yeah, because your starting deck was, I think, 5 blanks and then 5 pretty common letters, R, S, T, something like that.
And there are some words that you can, or letters that you can buy that have like ES or ED or ST or something like that.
CH,
and
like
then,
really common.
And then they have special powers too, like you can buy an obscure letter like a V, or like, oh, this is a really shitty card for my deck, but every time I get it out, I get to draw extra cards on my next hand, so I have a better chance of making a longer word.
Yeah, and that's making a 10-letter word is what ends the game, right?
Right.
So that's one of the ways. So it ends one of 2 ways. Because I was playing with Wes also on this, and yeah, the game ends one of 2 ways. There's a tracker off to the side that tracks the length of the longest word played, and it starts at 7. And so it's got a common card on it that everybody can use, and then the first person to play whatever the length of the word is at the time, so the first one's 7, you get to take that first card and put it into your hand, and it's worth a lot of points at the end of the game. And it goes 7, 8, 9, and then the result of whoever draws makes a word that's 10 letters long, the game ends, and you do scoring. The other way the game can end is there are 4 piles of victory point cards that are just, they're additional wild cards that don't give you any buying power, but are worth a lot of points at the end. And if one of those piles runs out, then the game ends.
Oh, okay.
Right.
It reminds me very much of Dominion, like the way the deck building aspect of it plays, and the way there's different sets of cards that are always going to be available.
Yeah, it's very much a Dominion / Quiddler mix up, like what would happen if we took those 2 games and smashed them together.
Yep.
Yeah. I did find it funny multiple times. At least, and I know at least once from you, Adrian, you're like, I have this word. And so I get to, like, there was like 8 letters long, and then you started to grab the thing. I'm like, how do you have that? And you're like, oh, I have it here. And you start to spell it out, and you're like, oh, fuck, I don't have an extra
Wait,
R.
I moved my wild around, and now it's not the same word.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's one, like, I could see it being, like, a pain if you aren't somebody who's, like, into words. Like, I've been reading books way above my, like, reading level, like, for a long time.
I read books.
I like words. No, like, I mean, so I don't remember who we were talking. I was talking to somebody about authors, and they were trashing on
Hemingway.
On Hemingway. Yeah. And I was like, oh yeah, I haven't read Hemingway since like middle school. And they're like, they made you read Hemingway in middle school? And I was like, oh no. I was the nerdy kid who read Old Man in the Sea in middle school of my own free will.
You should push your glasses up when you do that. There you go.
You should be immediately wedgied.
No, the best part of that conversation was when you said, what, Hemingway's not bad? And then Nick and I both at the exact same time said, yeah, but he's not good. But
yeah, no. So I really like words. Like I like learning new words. Like I still to this day get really excited when I come across a new word that I get to learn. And so a game like that really appeals to me, like trying to find the way, like having a hand of letters and like, ooh, what's the best words you can put together, and like sometimes having to get kind of obscure with a word to make letters fit, you know. Same reason I like games like Bananagrams and things like that. Like
love Bananagrams.
I've enjoyed playing Wordsy through the Twitter app that Gil Hova set up. I have not yet gotten to actually play the physical copy of Wordsy that I got through the Kickstarter, but that's another one that's all about like using a set of like common letters and then trying to make the best word out of it. That kind of stuff really appeals to me. So I liked
Paperback
a whole lot.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
I wonder how the hardback game will be, because it added like genres to it and stuff like that.
Hopefully harder.
But yeah, I don't remember what else I played at game night. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, because it's a hardback. No.
God. I played one of the games I did play at game night that I kind of vaguely remember. I don't remember the name of it at all. And it was because it was a really bizarre Japanese name. But it's an Oink game that apparently, despite being like a deck of 9 cards, 12 cards, like a very small deck of cards, and then a couple cardboard tokens, is very expensive because it's out of print and hard to find. Like, but I think ILO did a reprint, which I'm not sure which copy we were playing with. But the basic premise of this game that I really liked is everybody gets a card initially that has a number on it from 1 to 15. And then you flip one card over in the center of the table, and everybody gets one turn around the table where you can either flip a new face card, replacing the old one, or you can draw and look at a card and compare to your 2 cards now, and then discard one of them face up in front of you. And everybody does that. And then you go around in turn order again, where everybody can then decide whether or not they want to wager one of their starting chips or money or whatever into a battle. Kobayakawa, Zach just pulled it up for me there, is the name of the game. And so if you're entering the battle, you are betting that you will have the highest value in the round of whoever's participating. The catch is whatever the card in the center that's showing, it gets added to the lowest player's hand. So like if you have a 15 and a 14 showing, then you're probably going to lose, because unless somebody else has a 1, like unless the person you're going up against only has a 1, then you'd both tie at 15. If anybody else has something other than that, they're going to beat you.
I like that.
And so like when it's a low number, it's funny because everybody's like trying to play their hands towards the high end. If it's a high number, everybody's trying to play their hands towards the low end. And it's just this interesting kind of back and forth dynamic that changes each round. And it plays out over like 7 rounds. And then the final round is you have to spend 2 points to buy in. And every time whoever wins gets everything that was bought in. So I really liked it. It was interesting. But yeah, that was game night. And then I went this weekend up to Edward's house from Heavy Cardboard and was on one of their live streams on Saturday. We live streamed St. Petersburg, which is an older game that is currently out of print because, of course it is, if Heavy Cardboard's covering it. It was fun. I came in second. Edward had mentioned during the teaching that nobles were really important because there's like a points track for nobles at the end. That's one of those things where like if you have 1, you get 1 point. If you have 2, you get 4 points. If you have 3, you get 6. Like it just escalates. And yeah, the player who ended up winning scored like 15 more points than me on nobles because he had several more. But it's a good game. I liked it. If it's a game that interests you, then you should check out that live stream. Basically, the game is buying nobles and like just different cards. You're building a tableau of cards, engine building. Like there's worker cards that get you like money each turn. There's buildings that do a little bit of money, a little bit of victory points. Nobles, which can earn you money or mostly victory points. And there's a small little market for goods that can earn you points. Yeah, I liked it. Not enough to pay the hundreds of dollars it's currently going for on.
There is a second edition.
Yes, which that's the edition we played that had the addition of the market to it.
Yeah, I'm seeing on the Geek Market, you can get a second edition copy for about $65 right now.
Ah.
Yeah.
During the live stream, some of the commenters on the YouTube were saying that the cheapest they were finding it for was like hundreds of dollars on Amazon.
Gotcha.
So,
Yeah.
guess nobody checked the Geek Market.
It was from Z-Man.
Yes.
On the second edition. Okay. Only 2.72. That's surprising for the weight.
Yeah, it's not very heavy. It's a pretty basic engine builder. Like I definitely throw it in the medium weight. We taught and played it in, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours maybe. Which with the live stream distracting things and
I was going to say
those always go a little bit
it
longer.
lists 60 minutes as the playing time.
Yeah, if you were playing with, so there were 2 new people on the stream out of 4, and we were doing the live stream, which included a full like in-depth teach from Edward, and then the live streams always take longer because you're interacting with the live chat and things. So I think that if we just played here at the house with no distractions, yeah, I could easily see knocking that game out in 60 minutes with people who knew the game.
Yes.
And then after that, I met my match. As far as heavy games go, it finally got too heavy.
Too heavy.
I tap out.
Don't believe you.
And less that it got too heavy, it just finally got too abstract and like opaque, which isn't a word I usually use to describe a lot of games that I play. But we played 4X, which stands for foreign exchange.
FOREX.
Yeah. And so in this game, everybody starts the game with $2 in each of 7 different currencies. The US dollar, British pound, euro, Swiss franc, Japanese yen, and Chinese yuan.
2 yen?
Yeah. And
That's nothing.
And I'm missing one. Oh, Canadian dollar. That's the 7th one. And in this game, basically, it's a currency manipulation game. So each currency only has value relative to other currencies. So you have those currencies to start. And then on your turn, you can invest in a given currency, which costs $2 of that currency, and then that currency strengthens relative to every other currency in the game. You can then cash out investments, which then you get 2 money of that currency and it devalues it. You can make contracts where you'll trade like one currency for an equal amount to the other currency based on the board. And so there's this board in the center that tracks all these currencies and where their value is relative to the other ones. And for
Reminds me
easily
of stockpile.
That's what I was about to say.
Yeah.
but similar,
yet different.
but plays out completely different. Like there's some of the things that are similar, like if your investments pay out dividends at various points in the game, things like that. But I'd say for at least like the first quarter to first third of the game, like I was the first player who had to take the first turn, and it was one of the like there's no idea of what to do. There's nothing that indicates what's a good move or what to do. And for the first part of the game, like these stocks are fluctuating so much, and it's like, well, I don't know what's a good investment. Then towards the end of the game, you kind of can start to see what's going to be the strongest currency, because when the game ends, everybody cashes out all the currency they have into whatever the current strongest currency is, and then whoever has the most money in that currency wins. And like, I don't even know how to describe how impossible it was to formulate any kind of a plan or strategy in that game.
Sounds like my kind of game.
Yeah. Just what I
Called
think,
winging it, Adrian.
what I think sums it up best. I'm going to read what is on. This is the actual printing on the back of the box. 4X. Why on earth did you buy this game? This is a game about currency trading. Each currency only has value relative to 6 other currencies, and when you strengthen the value of one currency, it weakens each other currency, but only relative to the strengthened currency. Imagine the excitement. Before your turn, $1 US is worth 2 Japanese yen, and 1 British pound is worth 4 US dollars. But then, through a savvy investment, you strengthen the US dollar, and now $1 US is worth 2.5 yen, and 1 British pound is worth 3 US dollars. One of the other players had made a contract with the bank on a previous turn to buy 6 yen for 3 US dollars. When the contract is resolved, it must be for the original terms, $3 for 6 yen, even though the buying power of $3 would now net someone 7.5 yen. He has sustained a ruinous loss. Your opponents gaze upon the board, nodding in solemn but rapturous appreciation of your cutthroat instincts and superior intellect.
All I want to do is institute a Brexit and crash the pound.
I'm not even finished. Or they wonder why they let you pick the game tonight, or why they invite you to the game night, or why they married you. This is a nerdy, opaque, butterfly effect game, possibly the nerdiest, opaquest, butterfly effectiest game in your entire collection. It is about the driest and least interesting topic imaginable. It has a thing called a contract queue, and every investment pays the same thing, $2 of the indicated currency, regardless of the currency's value. Yet somehow, some investments are significantly better than others. You could be absolutely vicious to your opponents, but it will almost always be by accident, like a compliment that went horribly wrong and ballooned into an all-night argument that lingers uncomfortably for days and weeks. This is a game that feels suspiciously like math, Only it's a math where the values for X are ever shifting, elusive, and transitory. And it goes on and on like that, but like that pretty much sums it up. It's
Sounds like
bizarre.
Okay,
Need to
so
play
is it
this
available
game.
on Amazon and for how much?
I'm not sure how widely available it is at all yet.
It's brand new, so
Well, then that ruins my joke about asking, so then how much is that worth in yen?
oh,
2 yen.
Yeah, I don't see any prices for it.
Okay.
anywhere.
Yeah.
So then if I buy it in yen, does that strengthen the dollar?
do not know.
No. I'm gonna say no.
But I don't know.
All I know is that the weight on it is currently 0, so it is obviously not that heavy, Adrian.
I mean, the weight I see is
Well, because you have to buy
two
other
hyphens.
games in order
Yeah.
to strengthen
Is
it.
what?
2 hyphens.
Yes.
It's like there's no ratings.
But no, like it's designed by Tom Russell and published by Hollenspiel, and like I liked it. I had fun playing it, but I didn't understand it, and I'm still not like it's not a game where like a lot of other games that I really enjoy, heavier games like Food Chain. I can almost always go back and be like, yeah, right there, that's where I made the mistake that cost me the game. And this one, it was like I don't know if anybody ever made a good move or a bad move. It's just
It sounds like a better game than Food Chain to me.
Yeah, I kind of actually want to play this now.
I do.
You know where the mistake was made?
What's that?
At the very start, where you decided, "Hey, let's play this game."
well, I agree.
It was where you married Adrian.
Yes.
Yes.
Megan's just giving you the stink eye the entire time.
I put the ring on his finger first. I mean,
Yeah. She obviously didn't want it enough.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's because it comes with 4X.
But yeah, so I played that, and I think that officially I found the high end of the hobby for me. Like I
Yeah.
found the ceiling, and I ran full force into it, and then fell back on my ass and wondered what the hell just happened.
Just ran into that wall.
Yeah. So I don't know.
He ran into the ceiling. Didn't you hear his words?
Yes, I choose my words very carefully.
Adrian's all about them words.
Yes, he is.
Damn it.
Loves the words.
I'll probably play it again though because I strangely want to.
I know, it actually
don't
sounds kind of
understand.
interesting.
It
I
does,
do
yeah.
actually want to play it.
I
I'm
do too.
not bullshitting. I want to play this. It sounds kind of interesting.
Okay, well maybe we'll see if we can get a copy down here, and you, me, Paul, Zach, and I don't know if Jeff thinks it sounds interesting. I'm not sure if Zach was being serious.
No,
when he said
I would
it.
play it.
I vote we don't invite Paul because he'll just randomly win. If anybody's going to randomly win, I want it to be me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or I guess Zach.
So, but yeah, that's what I've
I'm
been
okay
playing.
with that.
So, I think that kind of sums up Banter and everything.
And everything.
And everything. All right,
Until-
shut her down.
Yep.
There are some games I played, and it's called Blood Bowl
Bum.
because I forgot to talk about the game I played last week, and then I played another one on Tuesday. So I've got 2 whole games of Blood Bowl to talk about.
Oh God!
yep.
Extra long bloody minute.
You should get the
starting
bloody
now.
minute, and then it does the Law and Order. Dun, dun.
Dun dun dun.
Yep.
I don't really remember the other one. That was my last postseason game. So that one is going to go quick. Was the War Bosses, my team, versus the Magic Missiles. It was orc on orc. My first block of the first turn of the first half was KOing his troll. So I was already up 11 to 10 after literally the first block. I was real happy about that because I was worried about his troll being able to smash into me a bit. I ended up that game with 6 to 2 on casualties. So the game went pretty much in my favor for the rest of the match. I ended up getting a casualty almost like 1 or 2 turns later. So he was down 9 to 11 against my team, where I pretty significantly ran him over. It was a 2 to 0 win for my War Bosses. The last postseason match of the season, I was able to redraft everyone. I got my whole team back.
That's good.
I still had like plenty of money left over. There was only like 2 teams for the entire postseason that weren't able to actually get their whole team back because they didn't play enough games.
Suckers.
Yeah, so they were not participating enough and sort of didn't get it. My first actual season 5 game was against Frank and the Drakenhof Dynamo, who is Necro, which is basically werewolves, Frankenstein monsters, and zombies. This one was a little harder. Frank was doing very well against me, but I pulled off some orky bullshit at the end of the half.
What is orky bullshit?
Yeah, is that a thing?
So orky bullshit.
I know elfy bullshit is. So.
It's a lot like elfy bullshit, but you have to hit something first.
Okay.
Yeah. Orcs don't usually pass. They have a thrower, but he's really just there to kind of pick up the ball and give it to someone to get points. Turn 8 of the first half, I had to march someone into the end zone, and I had to go pick up the ball and make a 5+ reroll to pass. Got the accuracy on the second reroll. Then I needed a 3+ to catch the long bomb pass, which I did, giving me a 1-0 at the end of the first half.
Nice.
He marched through me. The Frankensteins are pretty good because they have stand firm, so whenever you hit them, they could just stand there. Like,
really?
You can, if you have a push, it's like, I stand firm. They don't go anywhere. And they can do that for anything.
You should have thrown some fire at him.
Yeah. Well, no fire, really.
Were you allowed to have pitchforks?
No pitchforks.
Wow.
No small children for them to drown either. So, yeah.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Jeez.
That's the everyone watch Frankenstein? Jesus.
What about Gene Hackman?
Nerdist was doing a Young Frankenstein marathon or something on Twitter the other night, and it's like my whole feed was just like, we're going to be starting the Young Frankenstein marathon in 10 minutes. We're going to be starting it again in like 10 minutes. And I was like, stop telling me about this.
Young Frankenstein's a good movie.
No,
Yeah,
it is,
I just
but I
watched
just
it
don't
the
want to
other
hear
day,
about how everybody on Nerdist is watching it right now.
Yeah, that's not ideal. But these Frankensteins were pretty sturdy the whole match, so they ended up getting through my line, and I think he scored on my second half turn 3 or 4, turning it to a 1-1, and then that gave me like 4 turns to score with orcs, which is not ideal unless you pull some orky bullshit, which is running the ball through the line, getting it down about 7 spaces from the line, surrounded by a werewolf and 2 other zombies. So
I was going to say, surrounded by a werewolf.
and 2 other zombies. I had 3 guys there. I had to make some dodge rolls. I had to make a fuckload of rolls to be able to get this to pull off. I had to smash away the 2 zombies to get it out of the thrower's tackle zone. I had to dodge out a lineman, run it over to the werewolf so I could blitz with another lineman. I had a 2 die. It had to be a POW because I needed to run straight through to be able to get to the goal line. I needed to move 5 and 2 go for it's to hit the goal line. There's a tripwire at the goal line. You never want to go for it to get into the end zone. Because
Especially the second one.
Yeah, I had no re-rolls left, so I had to make every single one of these rolls. Got the POW, pushed the werewolf out of the way, made both go for it. My thrower had to pick up the ball, pass on a 4+ reroll, and then I had to catch on a 3+. And this was like literally the last play of the last half, turn 8 on the second half, which I then made, turning both of my scores into orky bullshit pass plays at turn 8 of both halves
Nice.
for a 2-1 win.
That doesn't sound like something that's supposed to happen,
It's not.
like ever.
I had to dodge away with orcs, and then I did have to bash through a werewolf, but then I ended up winning 2-1. And so I'm actually doing quite well so far. My war bosses are starting to get some skills and really turning things around. My next match is against Lilo, who I haven't played since like season 2, first round maybe, and I've seen him at tournaments and stuff like that. But I will be playing against Chaos. We'll see how Chaos goes, especially because he has 2 Miss Next Game guys. We'll see how this game goes.
Gonna beat him up pretty good.
I mean, see those blue lines? Those blue lines aren't there in next game. So, yeah. So yeah, that's 2 games of Blood Bowl. Cool. 2 wins.
Nice.
Orky bullshit. That's
Congrats.
now a term that I made.
A term that should not be,
No.
yet somehow is.
Yep.
Supplanting elfie bullshit.
Yep.
Right on. Well, I think we are ready to move on to the next segment.
The next segment is news. There's not a whole lot of news that we found, but there is some good stuff. One of my favorite games, is getting a new expansion. This game is called Eldritch Horror, and the expansion is called The Masks of Nyarlathotep.
Don't try and pronounce it, Wes, just because I don't want Jeff to get any ideas.
Well, also, if I pronounce it correctly, I'm pretty sure then Nyarlathotep appears.
Yeah, it's true.
Yo, that's true. Yeah, don't do it.
Yep.
So I guess it's going to be they're partnering with like an author.
So the people that do the Call of Cthulhu RPG, they're
Gotcha.
also doing a masks like setting for this one.
Gotcha.
So
That's what it is.
and they're releasing them around the same time, I believe.
So the big thing in this expansion is it's going to have a campaign.
And then also like personal stories. So if you remember when we talked about Ancient Horror, the sort of fan made one that somebody made,
Yes.
they introduced like personal stories for each of the protagonists, the characters you were playing.
The investigators.
Yes. And so this one has added that as well. So I really like that idea. And so it's each based on, and they're double-sided cards, obviously,
yes.
because that's what they love to do. But they seem pretty cool.
Arkham Horror did have personal stories at one
they
point
did?
as
Okay.
well. It was a later expansion, I believe, but you could have like personal goals and things like that.
Gotcha.
There wasn't a ton of detail on exactly how the campaign is supposed to work in this.
Just that you play multiple games in a row and things carry over. And you need to win multiple games. It sounds like if you lose any one game, you still just lose because
It's not like the Arkham Horror LCG.
No,
That's a shame.
it sounds like on this one, like each game, like because it says if stopping any single ancient one seems an impossible task, can the investigators possibly hope to succeed as these otherworldly beings attack one after another? So I think
shit.
each time you're fighting a different old one or ancient one,
But can your equipment and stuff carry over? Because
It might.
That would be super powerful to start a game with already being, all buffed up.
it says consequences and benefits carrying over to the next game. So
Okay.
maybe,
But then maybe the stakes
There must
are
be
higher
something to make
yeah.
it harder, yeah, because otherwise that would start to get real easy real quick.
yeah. But
No, you just get that one event that's just like get rid of one of everything that you have, and you happen to have one of everything.
fuck that thing.
Yeah, it seems like you'd want to trim the event deck a little bit with that if some stuff doesn't carry over.
Yeah.
They say down there at the bottom that there will be more information coming soon. So
That's exciting.
First quarter of 2018.
yes, first quarter 2018. Pre-order from a local retailer or Fantasy Flight.
So that'd
Right
be sometime after March next year.
No, first quarter.
I'm
So-
thinking
Before.
fiscal quarters.
Yes,
The
yeah.
fiscal quarters start in like
Yeah.
March.
That also depends on the company because some of them,
Right.
it starts in January. Sometimes
Yeah.
it starts in July.
Some's February.
Yeah, some are February, some are fucking August.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Fuck fiscal quarters.
Yes.
Well, they're the same as the regular quarters. It's just that your number one is in one of the different ones,
Yeah.
depending on when you found your company or whatever the government says. And I don't know.
Most video game companies' fiscal quarters start in March. FYI.
Huh.
Yeah. That's why there's a whole bunch of games that always come out, like slam out right in March because they need it out before the end of the fiscal year.
Interesting.
Fun fact.
The more you know.
I don't know if that was fun.
I had fun.
Well, here's the
It didn't
next
seem like it.
here's the next fun fact for you. There's an Inish expansion coming.
Yeah.
No name or anything like that, but it was spotted at the convention that is
The shut up and sit down.
Shut Up and Sit Down convention. Shucks.
Yeah, Shucks.
Yeah.
It was it was spotted at the convention.
Yes, the
Full
convention.
stop.
That one.
Yeah.
I love Inish, and I would like more Inish. It looks like it's going to add a fifth player. The main new mechanic is going to be a seasons mechanic. So it seems like every round will take place like spring, summer, fall, winter, and each season will have different abilities and stuff you could take advantage of. But like in winter, you can't really move dudes around a lot because of snow and stuff. But you can like discard an action card to draw an epic tale card. And then each one of the seasons will have something different in there. There's going to be some new buildings, small wooden houses, new map tiles, and then there will be new action cards for like the fifth player, like there was for 4-player, and probably new more epic tale cards and such. So more Inish can't hurt at all.
Yeah, that sounds cool.
Yeah, the season mechanic seems the most interesting. I still don't know if I love Inish at more than 3-player. I don't know how much better, like even 5 would. That seems like oppressive amount of people in a game. You would need some big table space because that game's like map tiles are colossal. and if you got 5 people all dumping out stuff at the same time.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, but there's a Reddit thread that someone kind of zoomed in real good and was able to translate some of the text on the card.
And I like
Enhance.
They went full CSI on it.
Yes.
They went full Blade Runner on it.
Oh, jeez.
It's the original CSI.
Yep.
That was so ridiculous. He's like, and rotate like 15 degrees. Like, you can't do that from a photo.
It is in the future.
Yeah, it's
The future of 2 years from now.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to make some pretty awesome advances.
Yeah, if Back to the Future taught me anything, that we've had flying cars for 2 years.
Yeah. Back to the Future taught me anything, then everything is exactly like it should have been, but 2 years ago.
Yep.
We just had it for like a day and then it went back.
But isn't it crazy, though, how they predicted Donald Trump?
Yes.
Yeah.
The Simpsons did it too.
Yeah, like everybody.
Yep.
God. That's it for
Anyway.
news. Moving on to Kickstarters. Our first Kickstarter is one that we've just clearly missed for the last 3 weeks. Seventh Continent. What goes up must come down. This is an expansion Kickstarter for Seventh Continent, which is incredibly hard to get unless you got the first Kickstarter. This one is extremely well funded, $3.6 million of its $40,000 goal. 29,600 backers and about a week left to go. You can get the expansion alone for $49, the original for $80, or both for $129.
Yeah, and with all the optional buys I saw just today, if you buy everything that's available through this Kickstarter, it's $232. So,
Boy.
yikes.
Yeah.
But from everything I've heard about this game, it's apparently real fucking good.
Have you
It
not
is.
played it, Jeff?
No,
He did not play it with us, yeah.
I was not in that room.
So the 3 of us have all played it.
Yes.
You 2 played it with Paul together,
Yep.
and then Wes, you and I played it with Paul together.
Yes.
Because Paul paid way too much money for it on the secondary market.
Apparently not too much money.
Just
but
much money.
Much money. Much money.
It was interesting. This is definitely not a game that I care to own. I'm glad that other people own it. I do like kind of the way the exploration and things work in it. It didn't help that we played this while I was trying to watch a football game.
Yeah, and
I don't know why you
after
guys
Paul
tried
and
to
I
do
had
that.
already played it the night before, so Paul and I and Zach had gotten a chance to learn it together, and we were all like fumbling through, how does this work? What do these mechanics mean? And then when we were playing with Adrian, we are like, all right, so we're just going to shoot through this first island because we know where all the shit is, and we're just going to go do it. And then when we get to the next island, then we'll teach you how to play.
And so they were like, all right, Adrian, you're going to be doing this
Right.
and this and this.
And then we got mad at him for not knowing the rules because he was watching the football game.
Yep.
Which is our own fault for just being like, you can watch the football game while we play.
Yeah.
But it's really fun. I do like that game a lot.
I do too.
I definitely want to play it more in a different environment where I can maybe pay attention more, and hopefully I can get a better teaching from the start. So I feel like I'm actually a part of the game for the first half of the game. Besides then all of a sudden having to be like, oh yeah, do this.
Well, and that's especially because we died the night before. And so when we started playing during the football game, we were starting over. But then we saved that game. And so when more people come and we want to play it again, we can start from where we left off. So we're not redoing stuff we've already done before.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty simple game, like the actual mechanics of it. It's
Oh,
just, it's literally just you see a number and you're like, I want to do that action, and then you have to get a certain amount of successes, which are based on cards that you draw, but those cards are your life.
I really like that mechanic where
Yes.
you need to get so many successes on a card draw. So like, oh, I need to get 3, and there's a chart for the odds. It's like, so it's better to draw like 4 or 5 cards, but the deck only has so many cards, and once the deck runs out, then we lose. So you have to really try and mitigate how many cards you draw.
Yeah.
Well-
and then also getting food, because that puts cards back
Right.
in.
And that was how we died the first time. Is
Yes.
we didn't realize you have to eat if you want to live.
Yeah, when you first said food, I was just like, it was like, oh god, what do we need food for? And it's like, oh right, it's actually sustaining us.
And you don't run out when the deck first empties.
Well,
It's
yeah.
just
No.
when it first empties, you shuffle it all back together, and then the next time you draw a curse card, you just instant lose.
Which could be instantly the next draw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it could be.
But then you shuffle it every single time, so there's
it's always an equal chance that
Yeah.
you're going to die on that next
Oh,
draw.
you shuffle it each time you need
Yes.
to draw?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, so I would be interested in playing it again. If you are interested in it as well, it is back on Kickstarter.
It is, yeah, it's
What level are you backing at, Zach? Because I see right here that you are backing it.
Yeah, right now I have it backed at the 129 level. We'll see if I have the money for that come whenever the 18th or whatever it is.
Okay.
But then it's also like adding in all that extra stuff. Like I want to do that, but then I'm also like, I don't know if I'm gonna have the money for that. So we'll see if I end up, because I'm assuming that Paul's gonna have everything. So
probably.
I might unback just so. But as long as I know that somebody in our group has it.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And also I wanted to say, I've seen some people like refer to this as like sort of a choose your own adventure sort of thing.
No, I wouldn't say that.
No, it definitely isn't. It's just a...
I mean, it kind of is in that you get some choices, but they're always the same result.
Yeah. And it's just more, I would just say like this is probably like one of the best exploration games.
Yeah.
Not really choose your own adventure.
The choose your own adventure is choose in what order you explore all these things.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah. They have up on their Kickstarter page a quote, like Jamie Stegmeyer says, Seventh Continent is the best exploration game I've ever played. So
Yeah.
I would agree with
high
that.
praise
I would,
from,
yeah.
you know.
It reminded me
And
actually a
his
lot
words
of
are gospel,
Seafall, but
so-
not bad.
Yeah.
This one already has over double as many backers as the original.
I'm not surprised. It's the same sort of thing as Gloomhaven.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I didn't even know this came through the first time it went through. I didn't hear about it until well after the fact. So
One of my favorite things though is that on the tiles that you're actually on, if you see a number, like there are hidden numbers on the tiles or on the cards that if you see one of them, you're like, oh shit, and you grab that card, and it's like because like you actually found something new on that location that if you didn't notice it, you just miss out on it.
Right.
Like
There's
that.
like two different versions of or not every card, but some of the location cards. And like they'll each have, you could go to space number 19 or space number 23. And then if you're really careful and you see the space 32 hidden in the corner, like in small font that's almost the same color as the background, then you can pull out the alternate card and then you can explore space number 32.
Yeah, and
it's
also,
usually good.
and it even has a thumbs up that's like, good job, you found it.
you did it.
Most of the other ones is 50-50 if it's bad or not. But if you find one of the hidden ones, it's usually good.
Yeah. And it comes with a really shitty magnifying glass.
Yeah.
Of course.
Kickstarter exclusive.
Yeah. But yeah, I like the game a lot. And I would, if nobody else in our group had it, I would 100% get it. So
There you are. So if you guys are also interested in picking up Seventh Continent and you didn't know about the Kickstarter that's been running for 3 weeks until just now, you can go check it out now.
Be part of the other tens of thousands.
Yep. So next up.
Next up is Near and Far Amber Mines. Another well-funded one, 150,000 of its 20,000 gold, 2,600 backers, and this one has about 3 weeks left to go. This one you can pledge for the expansion for about $20, but the original is available on the Kickstarter as well.
Yep. So Near and Far is the kind of sequel to Above and Below, both by Ryan Lockett and Red Raven Games. And these are also kind of storytelling exploration games. I have not played either. Have you guys played any of them?
Nope.
I have not. I have heard, because of my love of Tales of the Arabian Nights, people, like I've had multiple people be like, you should play it because it adds an actual game to it.
Yes.
And then I'm just like, but then it takes away from the other part the part I actually like.
Yeah.
But I've heard a lot of good things about Above and Below, and Near and Far was the more recent of the two, right?
Yes, it's the sort of sequel. I know that a couple people in the game night group who went to Gen Con with us bought all of them and then played a bunch of them. Like I know Heather and Matt really like them, and Jenna and Peter really like them. So
I mean, graphically, it looks great.
yeah, the art's always been beautiful. That's the case for a lot of games that I don't super love. Anyway,
It's got sweet metal coins.
Sweet metal coins.
yeah. I don't know how, like, I've seen mixed reactions to there already being expansion for it. A lot of people feel like there's so much in Near and Far that you don't need an expansion. Like, you're not probably going to play Near and Far to the point where you've seen everything it has. So why is there an expansion?
That's silly. Well, at least for me. I've literally bought expansions for a game and then never played them and then be like, ooh, another expansion? Yes, please. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know. If you have Near and Far and you like it and you want more Near and Far, check out Amber Mines.
I like that they have if you just want more metal coins. you can get it.
That's the cheapest pledge on there too. If you do want metal coins, they're just $15.
I mean, if all you
Cheapest
want is metal
the Under
coins, you can go
Forest
to a
printed
bank.
book.
Yeah,
So you're wrong.
one of the cheapest.
There you go. The second cheapest.
I somehow managed to scroll directly past the 12 the first time I did and just stopped right on the 15. I don't know how I did that, but
It's just he
was
really
the thing.
He just really wanted those metal coins.
Yep.
Yeah, I do like that it has a bunch of different pledges. It's like if you want the metal coins, if you just want the extras from above and below, do you just want the base game or the base expansion, etc. and etc.
Yeah.
I think that's cool.
Next up on Kickstarters is yet another Gamelin Games Tiny Epic game, Tiny Epic Defenders, The Dark War, and Tiny Epic Defenders 2nd Edition. Very well funded, 252,000 of its 15,000 goal, 4,600 backers, and about a week left to go. This one you can pledge for about $25 for the 2nd edition, and you can get both the expansion and the 2.0 for about $46. Item meeples have returned.
They have, yes.
Yeah.
Those are probably here to stay for a lot of
Which
day
is, I
one's
mean,
Tiny Epic
Well,
series.
because they're
at
super
least.
cool.
Yeah, I think that's for the best.
I see you want to argue.
Well, so I don't have a problem with item meeples. Like I thought they were pretty cool in Tiny Epic Quest. I feel like your game should have more than a cool material gimmick.
I mean, it's a 2.0.
Like metal coins.
Yes, like metal coins. If your game is just cool because it has metal coins, it needs more to it.
It's not just that. I mean, it's a 2.0, so they revamped the art, they revamped a lot of the abilities too.
And they have a cool 3D GIF.
No, well, I just more meant that I don't care for any of the Tiny Epic series.
And that's right, listeners. I said GIF. Deal with it.
Yep.
You said it right.
Yeah, you're correct.
I don't know what the problem is.
Wow.
Yeah, I can't believe
It's been a while since
all of
we've
us
had
agree on that.
unanimous
Wow.
agreement on
Yeah.
this show.
This is true.
Wow. All right.
GIF.
I
GIF
thought
was
that
it.
I thought that would be controversial.
All right. No. Okay.
Will Wheaton says GIF, right?
Yeah, and he's
Ooh,
wrong.
Yeah.
I'm going to break this bottle over.
I mean, it's
Actually,
Somebody
he's
said-
not wrong. I mean, it's stupid linguistic bullshit. You can say whatever you want.
So when you're playing
No.
Quake and shoot someone with a rocket launcher and they explode, do they explode into gibs or jibs?
The problem is that there's so many examples of the hard and the soft G. So in English language, there's no precedent to set
see-
for one way or the other, unless you want to go the full microgneta and call it a jife.
no,
Guardians of the Galaxy.
it's definitely a GIF. If nothing else, it's graphic interface, whatever the other thing is.
Yeah, but
I just want to fight about gibs now.
It's just the GI.
Jibs.
Format. That's what the F is.
yes,
Graphic
yes, it
There
is.
you go.
Right.
I'm
I
glad
knew it
that
was
I'm
something
glad that
really
we were-
simple.
I'm glad that we were able to jit you there.
But yeah, so anyway, back to Tiny Epic Defenders. There is a bunch of new stuff here. The expansion and then
This is a co-op game.
yes. But the expansion and then the remastered 2.0 of the base game. In case you didn't already have it or you want the updated versions of it.
I know a lot of people felt that this was the worst of the Tiny Epic games.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this 2.0 and the expansion have...
Was it the first?
No, that was
Kingdoms.
Kingdoms. That one is just a 4X. And then this one is like a tower defense sort of game.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to like this one more, but then I just I played it a couple times and I was like, meh. So maybe the Defenders 2.0 will really turn it around because it was probably the most interesting to me, like gameplay wise. Like I wanted like a cool like defense 4-player kind of game, co-op. So I might pledge for this one. I'm not sure if there's going to be an upgrade kit for this one like there was in others.
I
think there's too much changing to.
Yeah.
But they do have they'll knock $5 off for you if you have some sort of proof that you owned the first edition.
You just take a picture of it.
Yeah, basically.
And
Take
then
a
share
picture
it
of
on
it
Imager so
in
that everybody
wrap.
else can save it.
Well, at a game store.
Yeah.
I just want to know what's the point where they're like, you're joshing us.
Well, they
Goshing us, sorry.
say
You have to cut out the proof of purchase and mail it in for your points.
Oh God.
proof of purchase. Whoever uses that bullshit.
It says, for example, a receipt, a photo with the game, or in some cases, just telling us when and where you bought the game, etc. If you purchased it through the Kickstarter, Pledge Manager, or through their website, no further proof is needed.
Yeah.
So they can tell in that.
Yeah, they
sense.
have that data. Makes sense.
But
Yeah, I might give this one a back just because
It's Starnievik.
Yeah, pretty much. Pretty much the only one I don't have is Western at this point.
They are fun games.
Yeah. So yeah, that one's ending in about a week.
Right on.
Thursday after you listen to this.
The Thursday after?
The Thursday 1 week after.
Okay,
you
so
listen
like
to
8
So
this.
you have
days?
about a week
Okay.
from the time this episode airs.
Yep.
That's why he
Tiny
kept
up the
saying about a week.
defenders.
Time
because
is
we didn't want to
linear.
get into
Yep.
this, amount of granularity.
Which happens almost every episode still.
Like Chipotle's queso?
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's still cheese. I don't care. It's still cheese.
At some point, you got to say no.
And that point is when it's
the
not cheese
Spanish
anymore.
for no, by the way.
Oh, kind of like how queso is the Spanish for cheese.
Exactly,
As
yeah.
long as it's not a cheese product,
Yeah.
it's still cheese. I
Exactly.
don't care. So if they make it out of Velveeta, then they can't call it queso.
Now we know.
Queso no bueno.
so many asides in this episode.
Yep.
That's
All right,
why I'm
I don't know
here.
the Spanish for a side. I'm sorry.
What is next up in
Pretty sure it's
Kickstarters
Asaido.
there, Hefe?
Asido. I like Asida if it's feminine.
Well, this Asida
Uh-huh.
is Amazon Smash Hers, which is a sweet-looking Amazon Blood Bowl team for use in that Blood Bowl game that I keep talking about every once in a while.
What game is that, Jeff?
It's Blood Bowl. This one is well funded, 7,700 of its 3,500 goal, 83 backers, and about a month left to go. You can pledge this one for about $81 for a full team. And you can get like the big guys and stuff like that for 93 and the full blown complete for 129. I do have to say this is one of the better Amazon teams that I've seen out there. There's a lot of boobs.
I mean,
just probably
That was going to be the first comment I made is, holy shit, this is a chesty team.
yeah.
I mean, I was going to say there's a severe lack of bows.
There's no bows in
Yep.
Blood Bowl.
I think I like
No
this.
Lucy Lawless.
No, there is.
There is Lucy
is
Lawless.
There is Lucy.
Oh, there is? Oh,
yeah,
good.
it is Xena the.
Oh, it totally is
Xena
her.
the star
All right,
player.
yes.
Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I was gonna say this is like one of my favorites just for that star player.
Yes. But yeah, you can get Kronos, the big guy. It's got all the fancy coaches and apothecaries, reroll markers, balls. But I think this has probably been one of the better looking teams that has come out in a while that is Amazon related. And they're actually a good scale with the new Blood Bowl models that are slightly larger. So they don't actually look tiny compared to some of the newer stuff that's coming out.
Gotcha.
Yeah, this one's coming from Fireforge Games. It's their first created. So there could be some options. It's also coming from Italy.
Yeah, it looked pretty good though.
Yeah.
How does Games Workshop treat second-hand models like this?
Because
Third
it's
party.
it's
Third
for
party, that's the
fantasy
word. Thank you.
because it's for fantasy football, not Blood Bowl.
Yeah.
Well, but I mean, like, so you can't use these in any tournaments or anything. Any officially sanctioned.
Yeah, but there are
tournaments.
so many unofficial ones.
And
So-
the extreme majority of like tournaments and stuff like that, you're not going to have like Games Workshop over people's shoulders being like, "That's not a legal model, you piece of shit," and then they shoot you in the back of the head.
Aren't a good majority of the tournaments not
but you're
officially
saying that-
sanctioned for that
You're
specific
saying though
reason?
that that
what
will
NAF
happen
stands for?
on occasion, Jeff, right?
I just
Yes.
had that.
Okay.
I just had that. Jeff, is the NAF not official sanction?
No, because that would be
No.
NOS.
NOF. Yes.
The NAF.
Not official. I don't know.
NOS.
I
Yeah,
got
I know,
so,
not
no. So it's
officially.
definitely not.
Yeah, the NAF is
Wow, I don't know where that came from.
definitely the
Not
overarching like
artificially fluorine.
who gives a shit what Games Workshop gives you the thumbs up because we have NAF.
Okay.
Like NAF is way better than Games Workshop has ever been at running anything Blood Bowl related. I mean, there might be the Blood Bowl, but yeah, it's hard to say. But I couldn't tell you the last time there was a Games Workshop tournament.
Fair enough.
Yeah, so yeah,
Yeah. If you
Amazon Smash Hers, they look real good. Blood Bowl team. That's your $100 miniatures Kickstarter of the week. Last up on Kickstarters is GameChips 2017. Funded somehow about 1,300 of its $1,000 goal.
because 7 people backed it. 8 people, sorry.
backed it. You got about 3 weeks left for this one, and you can pledge this one for $85.
For 100 chips.
and
100 poker chips.
Oh, I was hoping they were potato chips.
Jesus Christ, Wes, go home. I immediately regret having you on this. And by immediately, I mean an hour into the episode, I officially regret having you on today. Jesus Christ.
That's why I'm here.
I mean, I think at that price point, they should at least be sweet potato.
They should be something other than what they are, which is really bland looking chips.
Are they just plastic? Like,
No, they're clay, but it's
Okay.
still not anywhere near that price point. Like, you can just go buy a decent, like 1,000 chips for like $60.
Yeah, I was
and
gonna say
they're
40,
really good.
$40, $50,
Yeah.
yeah.
So the only thing that I
And
can
they come with dice and cards.
they
So it comes with free games.
so they have 15 different denominations, which I know can be nice for like some people. Like they pretty much every example they show in this, it has 18xx in the background.
Why would you need 15 different though? That's you don't need that many.
Well, so it depends on the game because like I know different 18x, like there's a huge argument, which I can't believe that I'm going to talk about this. I don't even play 18xx, and I know that there's a significant amount of disagreement in the 18xx community about whether you should use 20 or 25 denomination chips when you play.
Okay.
So that's a thing. And so like depending on which 18xx you're playing, there might be varying amounts of money. So maybe you want the $5,000 chip that this group offers as one of your chips. Maybe you want ones, 25s, 100s, 500s, and 5,000s. I don't know.
Yeah, but you could just not need 15 if you just get ones that aren't marked and you're like, well, this is this and this is this.
You could keep track on paper, and then you don't need any chips. You just write it down.
Oh, God.
Jesus.
Who has pencils these days?
I bought a box after that Gloomhaven debacle.
I don't care about buying boxes. I'm talking about pencils, Jeff.
I mean,
Box of pencils.
Well, there you go. You got to be more specific.
Yes. Because we weren't talking about pencils.
No, we weren't.
you get what is that? The Monopoly money electronic thing that keeps track of it.
Yeah.
That's what you should use.
So we should buy the electronic Monopoly and then
Just
rip it out and then
rip up the banking
commandeer it for other games.
No, it's a little handheld thing that you like.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But take it out of
Well,
Monopoly.
yeah, it's basically just a calculator.
Yeah. Well, why not just use a calculator then?
Okay, then use a calculator. I don't care.
Or just spend $85 on some poker chips.
Or spend $40
For
on some poker
100 of
chips at
them.
a sporting
100
goods
poker
store.
chips.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so these are pretty expensive. I mean, they're still less than $1 a chip, which for good clay quality casino chips, that's not totally unreasonable.
I think it is.
I don't love it either.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not ideal, but yeah.
That's game chips.
That's GameChips.
Yep.
Go check it out if you want to get some casino chips. I thought when you said that they were really expensive, I was expecting way worse than what I got, Zach. You let me down.
Really?
Yes, that's not nearly as bad as I thought it was.
Your
going to
standard
be.
for poker chips is way out of proportion.
Yeah.
To the Google.
Not going to. This has already gone on far too long.
And I got a set of 500 14-gram clay chips for $90. I mean, that's 20 cents each.
For 1,400?
For 500.
For 500.
14 gram.
Well,
1,400 chips.
So for 500 chips,
Yeah.
how much was it?
$90. So that's essentially less than 20 cents each.
Yep.
What's the material?
Clay?
14 gram clay?
14 gram clay.
I don't know what gram clay is actually good quality, though.
14 was the highest that I saw. Most of the plastic ones are 11.5.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure 14 is the standard.
Pack of 50 for $10. Yeah, it's essentially the same price.
Do they have numbers on the top?
Yeah, I mean this
Not
one's
15
numbered.
denominations.
I mean this one's got 7 denominations, 300 pieces for $70.
Exactly, yeah.
Does it go up to 50,000?
I mean, some of them if you want them to.
I mean, this color is now 50,000.
Right, exactly. That's why you buy the ones that are just colors and don't have numbers.
And these only go to up to 10,000. Thank you very much.
Well, I only ever said 5 was what I had said. But
I know, but he said 50,000.
And he's wrong.
Yeah. I mean, really, this was just all about proving Jeff wrong. I was waiting for my chance, and I finally got it.
You got me.
J'accuse. You said that was
Anyway,
14 gram?
yeah,
These are only 10 gram.
Are they only 10 grams?
Yeah.
Oh, then yeah, fuck this.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
Fuck all of that.
Yeah, even the cheap ones that you can get that are plastic at Target are 11.5 grams,
Yeah.
and those are 500 for $60.
Yeah, and
It's
that- and
what I've
that's-
been trying to tell you.
Well, that's where I was trying to find I was scrolling through this thing. Where did you find the weight finally?
Size. Standard poker chip size, 39 millimeter diameter, and are approximately 3.3 millimeters thick, and will weigh about 10 grams each.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Nope. Never mind. I take it all back. Way, way, way overpriced for 10 gram chips.
That's why I wrote overpriced on them.
We've done our research.
Yeah.
I immediately assumed that if you were selling chips for anywhere near that amount that they were full 14 grams.
You know what happens when you assume? You make an ass out of you and Wesley.
As Suez.
Isn't that what I said?
All right.
That's it for Kickstarters.
And now that we are finished with our news and Kickstarter, before we move on to closing things out, we have a giveaway that we were supposed to resolve last week when we were all sick.
You guys were sick, not me.
Sorry, yes, when Jeff and I were sick. I keep trying to lump Zach in too much. But thanks to
this is the lump-free zone right here.
Yeah.
Thanks to the Punchboard Media Summer of Great Games giveaways, we are giving away a copy of 7 Sevens from Eagle Griffin Games. We had a contest going on Twitter where you could tweet us your other favorite member of Punchboard Media, aka not us, and use a hashtag MHGG77 to get entered. And so we had some entries, and they luckily work out to be a dice roll. So rather than using some online algorithm that I don't trust, I'm rolling one of our very trusty MHGG custom dice. And that will determine who wins. 4. It is 4, which I should have put these in order. 1, 2, 3, 4 is at Krogdor, a.k.a. Craig. So congratulations, Craig.
Congratulations. What did he say?
Craig said, at MH Game Guys, fave punchboard contributor. That's a tough one. I'll give my vote to Katie's Game Corner for her blog post about social anxiety. Hashtag MHGG77.
That's a good one.
Yep.
That is a good one. Katie, for those of you who do not know, runs Katie's Game Corner and mostly covers war games and a little bit heavier games. It's blog, one of the written members of Punchboard Media. And she's done a couple very awesome posts where she has opened up about some issues that she has with social anxiety and things and how that affects her as a board gamer.
Isn't she going to start doing a podcast too?
She is also going to be starting doing some podcasting very soon. I'm not sure the details on that, if she's going to be joining up with somebody or starting her very own or whatnot.
You should try and get her onto this one now.
Yes, she is unfortunately based in England.
Yeah.
Which makes it very hard to coordinate times because our normal recording time is something like 1 a.m. in the UK.
I'm sure that'll be fine.
She can stay
No,
until
it's like 6 a.m. there.
4.
Yeah, just wake
It's
up
like
early.
a 7 or 8 hour difference.
Yeah, which is like 1 a.m. when we start recording at 7 o'clock.
I was looking at the time right now.
Things at West.
That was your first mistake.
I have done a Google Hangout with her and some of the other members of Punchboard Media, and she is a fantastic bunch of fun and kept that entire thing going. Considering all the rest of us were like, what do we talk about?
Was she the project manager one? The person who's like, I have project manager experience? Or am I thinking of somebody else?
I think you're thinking of somebody else.
Okay.
To be fair, I just have no idea what you're talking about. So maybe,
Okay.
yes, no, maybe so. I don't know. But no, she writes a fantastic blog, and I'm very excited to hear her join the podcasting community. Congratulations, Craig, for winning. Go ahead and shoot us an email. Jeff,
Emails at milehighgameguys.com.
and get us your address, and we will get you 7 sevens from Eagle Griffin Games shipped right out to you. So,
Congratulations.
congratulations on winning.
Congratulations.
And it'll probably be a few weeks, and then we'll do another giveaway soon.
Yes.
We're all about them giveaways. So, but yeah, now that that's wrapped up, I think we can move on again here. Fittingly enough, probably onto emails, because
Why are you looking
emails
at
are
me?
important.
I don't
Yeah,
like
you
it.
should be looking at me.
Because I don't want Jeff to say emails at my high game guys.
But that's like
say
the
emails.
best part of this show.
I'm sure Jeff will do it right.
And that pretty much wraps up most everything here. So we can move on to some closing stuff. Jeff, we have emails. 2
Emails.
whole weeks worth of emails.
You 2 whole weeks for these 3 emails.
Hey, that's like 1.5 per week.
That's true.
All right, so you're going to read one and then half of one, and then the other one and then half of that second half
Yep.
of that. First.
Yep.
Yeah.
But not one and then half, and then the other half.
No,
and
no,
then
I know.
one.
Yeah.
One and then half, and then the other one, and then the other half.
Got it.
All right. So
Emails milehighgameguys.com if you would like to send us an email.
That's the best part of this show.
Absolutely. This email comes from Chad, titled Psycho Raiders. Longtime listener, first-time caller. Ryan and I, from Of Dice and Men, played Psycho Raiders last night. Holy shit. If you crossed a Texas Chainsaw Massacre RPG with a war game, you get this game. I could describe how it works, but instead I'll describe what happened in our game. One of the three campers being chased by two of the raiders in separate vehicles, one of which was the camper's own truck, managed to get close enough to the gas station on the outskirts of town to yell for help, getting the attention of the mechanic lazing about within. The mechanic grabbed his revolver and headed outside where Dawn was running up to the building, screaming for the mechanic to throw him the keys for the nearby fixer-upper. The mechanic stopped in his tracks and grabbed a walkie-talkie from his waist, put it up to his ear, and then drew his revolver on Dawn. Some of the townsfolk can be traitors, which you don't find out until the raiders radio them in. Instead of shooting her, however, he shot the gas pump she was standing beside. Unfortunately, the shot did nothing. Fortunately, one of the raiders was suddenly hiding in the trunk of the car parked at the gas station, hopped out, and immediately used his flamethrower to explode not only the gas pump, but Dawn and everything around it. There was nothing left of Dawn other than a smoldering, melted corpse. Literally, that's the kill draw card we drew. Smoldering, melted corpse. Super gross. I thought you might enjoy that session report. The game itself is something that needs to be experienced, although it is very clearly designed to be more of thematic than balanced. Keep up the good work, fellas, and Caitlin.
I do like that I heard your quotation marks.
My name's
great.
not Caitlin.
No.
So no good work on you.
Yeah.
You're not.
No good
he does
work.
not approve of your work.
Your shenanigans.
Yeah.
I try so hard with my bad jokes.
I really
you tried so
I really
hard.
don't
and
try hard at all.
You got so far, but in the end, it just didn't even matter.
Oh my God. We know that Zach has had too much rum when he starts sneaking in lyrics to songs.
No, I'll try and do that when I'm sober.
Yeah, it's
so-
true. If
so-
he hadn't have finished that line, I was going to.
The cool thing about this email is that they included a picture of the carcass that says smoldering melted corpse that is apparently on the game map. So yeah, and
I don't know about you guys.
I kind of want to play this now.
Yeah, it sounds awesome.
Well, I was going to say I enjoy session reports.
Yeah.
So I'm fine with anybody sending us shit that it's like, here's some weird ass shit that happened in our game.
Yes, please do more of that. And then also, as you mentioned at the top, Chad here is one of the three hosts of Dice and Men. They do a fantastic show out of Canada. They are also on their local public radio. So theirs is even more professional and well produced.
Yep. The most professional anniversary clip that we had.
Yeah.
So you're saying that we're like second,
less
just to them, right?
Well, our swearing makes up the difference because since they are on public radio, they cannot swear. Unlike a lot of the other podcasts that choose not to, they're just inhibited by the rules of Canada's version of the FCC.
Well, they're also Canadian, so I'm pretty sure they're genetically inhibited from swearing.
Oh no, they swore plenty on the bumper they sent us.
yeah, that's very true.
They're like, fuck, we're so jealous.
Yeah, they were one of the people that actually swore.
Yeah.
Proven wrong.
Yeah, so back the fuck up, Wesley.
What are you, Zach? Canadian?
Next email comes from Noland, titled Upped My Pledge. Hey guys, other than a quick thank you when I first pledged on Patreon, you don't know me. I've been listening to you guys on my bus ride to work ever since I heard you congratulate Board Game Blitz on their anniversary show.
That's like what I do. I listen to you guys on the bus to work.
Hooray.
Hooray.
So why did I increase my pledge? Was it due to your wisdom and wit?
Yes?
Of course not. Damn it. Don't you listen to yourselves?
No.
Was it due to the deep insights you provide?
Obviously.
Hell no.
God damn it.
Again, do you hear yourselves?
No.
No.
Personally, I attributed the fact that I have poor impulse control and move too fast for my wife to stop me.
Good enough for me.
Given what I've heard of you, I think you can sympathize with this problem.
Oh yeah.
In fact, I'm betting taking advantage of poor fools like me is part of your grand marketing strategy.
100%.
It's how we're going to make millions of pennies.
Yes. That's why we just try to embarrass the people to do $1 pledges to make them go higher. Last time we did it, they went from $1 to 50. So,
Well, except for the other guy who went from his higher pledge to $1, so he would get made fun of.
yeah. But as long as I'm fine with the balance of 1 to 50 and 5 to 1. As long as that is maintained, I'm okay with that.
All kidding aside, I think you guys are running a great show. You're one of 4 podcasts that keep me sane as I go to and from my daily grind. I just realized that given how sane I am, it could be argued that you have failed. Even my compliment paragraph has a backhand insult hidden in it.
I wouldn't say hidden.
Just one.
It was right there in plain text.
Yeah. I'm very excited to sit down across the table with you. Perhaps I can scare up a copy of 1970s game Kingmaker to see if I can make anyone's head explode when we play. Yes, that game has some kingmaking in it. Enjoy.
Our friend has that, so you don't even need to find it.
Yes.
Our friend Andrew on the show, our Mile High Game Guys historian,
Yes.
does indeed have a copy of that game. Looking forward to meeting you soon, Nolan.
Right on.
Yeah, as long as it's like an established meeting, not like you open up your door.
Yeah, right.
And it's just like,
all right,
hi,
guys.
I'm Nolan's.
Like, hey, guys, all right, we're done recording here.
Just
I'll
scraping on
see
the
you
window.
out. Let me...
like you were earlier today, Wesley.
Clawing at the window.
Oh.
Oh, God, now they know we have windows.
Yes, I don't live in a concrete bunker. I have windows.
Well, la-dee-da. You think you're better than us because you have windows?
But thank you, Nolan, for both pledging in the first place and then for the increased pledge. We do really appreciate that.
Yes, thank you very much.
Indeed.
Yeah. So how would other people email you, Jeff, if they were to want to send an email?
I believe that's emails.
Yeah.
At emails.
Sorry, Jeff.
You messed him up, Wes.
Sorry.
There's too much pressure.
Emails at emails.com is what I was going to say.
Emails at emails.emails.
Yes.
Okay.
Emails at milehighgameguys.com if you would like to send us emails.
Indeed.
You can try emails at emails.emails, but I don't know if that's going to work or not.
Trying to compose myself before I move on here.
My portion of the show is complete.
At least you didn't say like Mile High Game Guys at email.
Emails.
No, because I only waited until he was like halfway through to fuck him up. I feel bad now.
I thought Jeff was the most rock solid of us. But now we know that he can fail as well.
My preconceptions shattered.
So,
Yeah, that's the delusion everyone got, that I was the most rock solid of all of us.
speaking of Patreons, thank you, Nolan, for increasing your pledge. We do have a new Patreon since the last time we recorded. Thank you, Sebastian, for pledging at the $25 per month level.
Yes,
We
thank you very much.
super appreciate that. And hopefully you'll respond to some of the higher level messages I just sent out regarding polls and Google Hangouts and all of the other reward tiers that we offer over at patreon.com/milehighgameguys. So if you'd be interested in supporting us, like Nolan and Sebastian, go ahead and jump over there and check it out. We appreciate all of the money we get.
Yes, we do.
And we're going to start doing video because we passed our third goal since the last time we recorded.
Surprisingly.
Yes. So in addition to getting to hear our shenanigans, you'll get to see them,
You get to see what I get to see. I'm sorry.
which is going to be fantastic.
We're all very sorry.
Yep.
Yep. So enjoy all of that extra content that is coming thanks to our generous patrons. And
Yes.
thank you to everybody who supports the show, however you support the show. You know, even if it's just telling other people to listen to our inane ramblings.
Yeah.
We appreciate that. So,
We are quite inane.
yes. If you would like to get a hold of us, you can tweet us. I tweet under at MHGameGuys.
I am Zach_MHGG.
And I am Jeff_MHGG.
Wes, would you like to share your Twitter?
I think I did last time. It's a pathetic life form.
But you,
Lift form?
Lift form, yeah.
Lift form.
yeah.
That's a callback to character restrictions.
You can also find us on Facebook and Instagram /MileHighGameGuys. And Jeff, one more time for everybody at home, how do they email us?
That'd be emails at milehighgameguys.com.
Yay.
You can also check out our Board Game Geek Guild over at Board Game Geek, guild number 2731, where there are awesome posts about episodes and other things that go on.
Yeah.
So,
Assuming we're not sick.
assuming we're not sick. But
Hopefully, I'm done being sick.
hopefully.
Ugh.
Be sure to join us this Friday when we continue our discussion from 2 weeks ago about, reviewer integrity type stuff. This time we are going to be talking about how our personal biases might influence our objectivity and the quality of reviews we give, aka how me hating randomness might color my reviews, and how Zach hates heavy games.
I don't hate heavy games.
Save it for the episode.
It'll be an interesting discussion. Hopefully there will be some interesting discussion in the discussion episode.
Imagine how much more rum he gets than him.
And then next week, we will be reviewing Lisboa. So be sure to jump over to the aforementioned Board Game Geek Guild to see Zach's awesome post
On
that
Friday.
I cannot wait to see.
On Friday.
For
It'll be
Lisboa.
out on Friday, I promise.
All right. And if it's not, then we'll add a
then-
Patreon reward where you get to hit Zach with wiffle ball bats.
Oh,
Then it was Zach.
then
it was
I'll
dr-
start contributing.
That's the $2 level, by the way. We're not putting much of a limit on that one.
That's the $0 pledge, right?
Yeah.
Until next time, thank you everybody for listening. Hope you've enjoyed the show. We are clearly happy to be back. And as always, I've been your host, Adrian.
I am still Zach.
And winter is here, Jeff.
And I'm Wes.
Thanks for joining us, Wes.
Yes,
Bye,
thank you.
everybody.
Bye.
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 And then
I just realized this was 13%. Sorry.
You didn't know
Just
that?
real.
No,
Realized.
I
Okay.
didn't. I thought it was like 9.
Yeah, I had like half a glass, so that's all him.
Which explains so much about how Zach's going to be for the rest of the episode.
Yeah.
Which
So you
listeners,
want me to get opinions?
For the rest of the week.
which listeners won't hear this part probably until the end of the episode, and they'll be like, "Oh, that explains it." There's the U.S. dollar, the British pound, the euro.
Finished it.
Zach is now drinking straight out of the bottle.
The
Tried
empty
to.
bottle.
Yeah, and then I was like, oh, yeah, it's empty. That's right. Can you grab the rum, please?
Oh, God.
It's fine. Thank you.
It's fine. Everything's fine. Zach's just going to be drinking rum out of a beer snifter.
No, I'm not.
Should be drinking rum straight from the bottle.
Too much. Okay. All right, we're good.
That was too much rum.
It was. Soon the runner will be gone. Well, not tonight.
Oh, God.
God.
If the rum was gone tonight, there'd be problems.
Yeah.
So, fail, Zach. Zach's trying to flip bottle caps
All right,
off of
ready?
his.
Nope. Okay.
It still was not at my hand.
It's not.
The nightmare train keeps running.
Yeah, but apparently Zach wasn't kidding when he said the rum was going to be gone tonight.
Oh, yeah. It's going to be a rough one. One of the 3 chapters being chased by
Campers.
campers, red chapters.
Where did you read that, Jeff?
Where campers was, I just said
How
chapters.
did you get chapters out of campers?
Because my mic is sort of in between my iPad and my...
So it added an H and then took away the
not
M
the
and
clearest picture in the universe. It's hard to read and talk.
I don't understand. Like looking at this, like I've got this directly in between me and my screen, and it just kind of phases out as I look on both sides of it, and I see clearly one of 3 campers.
Yeah.
The blooper section for this episode is going to be fantastic.
So many bloopers.
It's going to be 30 minutes.
It's going to be
At
like
the end of the episode.
level
Everyone's going to be like, why is this episode
whatever-
2.5 hours?
whatever of Mario
Because the
with the
episode
bloopers.
ended an hour ago, and it's just the rest of the cut shit.
We're going to release an entire special episode of cut shit from this episode.
I'm fine with that.
where we all
Bring something
to the table
pull up a chair
at punchboardmedia.com.